The fastest way of creating your own product that you can then start selling is by interviewing experts in your niche market. This is in fact probably the easiest and quickest way of creating your own product from scratch, and because most people will allow you to interview them without asking for an upfront fee, it is also an extremely cheap way of doing the job as well. Of course, you will have to give your experts something in return for their time and effort, but more often than not, you can do this by coming to some agreement about giving them a percentage of the money generated by product sales. As an example, you may split the revenue generated by selling the interview series with them, and/or you might include a one-time offer, OTO, from which they receive a split as well. As the name implies, the idea behind the one-time offer is that just before or immediately after the customer has completed their initial product purchase, they are presented with an offer for a product which they are only ever going to see once, hence the name. Whenever you sell your own product, whether it is an ebook or an interview series with an expert, you must always include a back-end sale, the "would you like fries with that" approach, and it is generally more effective to do so as an OTO. Another thing to understand is that whilst the more well-known your interviewee is, the more sales you're likely to generate, it is not absolutely essential that you manage to land an interview with a household name the very first time you do this. In fact, it is pretty unlikely that you will be able to do so without any provable track record of creating a product of this type before, so you might have to set your sights a little lower the very first time you do this. However, this will not kill your sales because it is up to you to emphasize and, if possible, magnify the expert status of your interviewee. After all, as long as they have something of value to teach or tell anyone who buys the interview series you create, your customer is getting the value for which they are paying. The easiest and cheapest way of interviewing your expert is to interview them on the telephone using a service like Skype or something similar. Use appropriate free software to record the conversation as an MP3 file, and you have your interview in the bag without moving from the comfort of home. Now, you can either make the interview series available as a digital download only, or you can enhance the value of the service you are offering, thereby allowing you to charge more money for your product by physically delivering a hard copy on CD or DVD of the interview directly to your customer's door. To do this, pay Kunaki $1.75 to produce each copy for you, including a case, labels, etc. Do this and you immediately enhance the value of the offer you're making on your site, which will enable you to charge $27 for your interview product rather than $17. The final question, therefore, has to be, where do you find suitable interviewees who have sufficient knowledge and experience in your market niche to be able to provide value when interviewed? The simple answer is, go back to the forums that you were frequenting earlier, because no matter what niche you're working in, you will usually find the best-known experts frequenting the most popular and active forum sites. As a simple example, if you were looking for an internet marketing expert or online business guru, your first port of call would undoubtedly be the Warrior Forum. I am not personally aware of anyone who I would seriously consider to be an online marketing expert who is not a member of this particular forum. From my experience of other niches, this seems to be a fairly common characteristic of the best-known forums in all markets. If you already know who the best-known experts in your market sector are, then you can probably search the popular forums to find whether a particular individual is a member by name. As a general rule, I have found that because these experts often use their name as a recognizable brand, most will use their ordinary names when they join forums of this type. Hence, a simple search may find the person you're looking for. If, on the other hand, you are not already familiar with the best-known people in your market sector, it is often fairly easy to find these people by watching what is going on in your favorite forum site. One dead giveaway is when someone starts a new thread or post that is not particularly contentious, and not even especially interesting in many examples, that all of a sudden seems to become incredibly popular. Check a few of the posts that have been added to a thread like this, and you will often find that many of them are nothing more than "way to go, Bob" or "well said, John" type comments. This indicates that none of these posters has anything particularly valuable to add to this thread, but they want to be seen because they are trying to be associated with the individual who started the thread in the first place. This is always a strong indicator of someone who is highly respected and well known in the business, so take note of their name and keep an eye on their activity for a short while to confirm your initial suspicion that they are indeed regarded as an expert in your market. Another thing that can help point you in the direction of recognized experts is the number of posts that they have added to the forum which you are investigating. If someone is capable of adding thousands of posts to any individual forum, it suggests that they have a great deal of knowledge and probably experience as well, so they are probably the kind of person you want to interview.